Well, good day and I love you. Welcome to Tough Love. I think I got myself going now. I think I got myself out of here a second ago, so we're going to try it again. You'd think I would learn. I learn as I go. I should copy and paste my little introductory thing when I go live here, because if I goof myself up, then I have to create it from scratch each time. So, welcome. Let me take a second, make sure I am where I need to be. Order. All right, I think I am. Let's start with some breathing. Let's start with some toning. Some crazy energy on planet Earth, isn't it? Quite the roller coaster on planet Earth, yes? So, let's just tune in and calm down and connect together. I'm going to share some of my experience, strength, and hope today. I'm going to pull some cards for you. There's a lot going on in the cosmos. We're going to talk a little bit about it and how that affects us down here, and how we can make really good choices for ourselves during this time of utmost change. Yes? Because that's what it is. It's a time of utmost change. And I personally want to be of the most service. I want to live in my highest good, utilizing my highest tools and living my best, highest life. Yes? So, all right, let's start. Go ahead and put your feet flat on the ground if you're seated in a chair. Excuse me. If you have the option of taking me outside right now, do so. Take me outside and put your bare feet on the ground. Put your bare feet on the ground and open your hands and close your eyes. Are you ready? We're going to listen to this beautiful frequency. This is a heart chakra bowl. And so when our body hears this, our body has a energetic response. And our heart's like, and we can do our breaths like that too. We're going to take some deep breaths together. And you want to take a big breath in through your nose. And when you let it go out through your mouth, you're going to let it make noise, just like I just did. It's called an auditory exhale. So when we do it, we're going to go. You don't have to pinch your nostrils together like that. And then when you let it out, you're going to go. And that way your body hears you exhale, and it helps you calm down. Okay? So go ahead and take a big breath in through your nose. And let it go out through your mouth. And in through your nose. And out through your mouth. And one more big breath in through your nose. And let it go out through your mouth. Take your left hand and put it on your chest. Take your right hand and put it on your left. And say, I love you, to your body, to each of your cells and all of your systems that are renewing and revitalizing. Say, I love you to this planet that gifts us the air we breathe and the water we drink, the environment we need. And say, I love you to a power greater than we, to your HP. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and take one more big breath in through your nose, and let it go out through your mouth, and open your eyes, and relax. Yay! How lovely is that? For most of us, just taking a few big breaths is a game changer in any given day, especially with today's headlines, today's energy. I don't even watch the news and participate. I can't imagine if I did. So, I was thinking about a few things today in no particular order. I was thinking about how I am a recovering addict and alcoholic, and I used to introduce myself as a recovering addict, alcoholic, lying, cheating, whoring, thieving, self-depreciating woman, and all of those things were true. And today I live in harmony with the earth and her creatures, which is insane because I used to wreck house and cause a lot of trouble, and today I have a whole lot of freedom. And it's come through a lot of learning lessons. I just went through, we just had Neptune go direct yesterday after being retrograde for quite some time, and we were all really in the fog. I have Neptune in the 12th house. For those who study astrology, I have Neptune and Venus in the 12th house, which means either I figure some things out or I go bonkers. You kind of know what that means. You play for keeps in the 12th house. It's your psyche, it's your inner workings. And so while Neptune was retrograde, I felt like I was in the fog of my life. Like, I really just didn't know who I was. And since it's not the first time I've been in the hallway like that or been in the in-between, I chose not to let it completely freak me out and take me out of my game. I chose to decide that I was in a morphing or a remodeling, and that the gift of not knowing who you are is that I get to choose who I want to be. If I decide it's a gift. If I let it be the scary unraveling, then that's what it feels like, and that's what it is. And in my experience, there's not too much difference between a spiritual evolution and a spiritual crisis. They're kind of one and the same thing. Because when I make big shifts in how I see things and how I believe about things and who I am, well, I mean, that is a crisis. It is a break in my norm. It's a break in my normal belief system and how I see things. So there's not much difference in my experience when I go through those massive shifts. And I'm sharing that today because a lot of people are in that hallway and they think that they're unraveling. I remember the first time I walked through one of these experiences, I was gifted a teacher by the name of Bill. Those of you who have been with me for a long time, you know who Bill is. And Bill walked me through the first time and gave me books to read and, work to do so I could get through that time where I felt like I was just losing it. Like I was just having a complete and total meltdown. Like the way I saw things before, I didn't see them this way. What I wanted, I no longer wanted. The way I thought of myself, I didn't apply anymore. But I didn't have the new yet. You know what I mean? I had what didn't work anymore. But I totally didn't have where I wanted to be, what I was going for. And so that's what I would call it, the hallway, the in-between. Because it's like I used to be in a room, maybe I don't like the room anymore, and I'm on my way to another one, but I don't know where that room is yet. So you're just in the hallway. And it's a difficult place to be in the in-between, when you're kind of oscillating between what was and what's coming. And that's very much where the earth is today. That's very much where each of us is, if you are feeling your feelings and showing up. If not, if you're just the boss and you're just bulldozing your way through, then maybe you're not privy to any of this. But I don't think that's really the case with most people. I think most people are in some sort of a crisis in one or more areas of their life. Because that's what time it is. It's being brought to our attention so that we can heal it. And if we feel it, then we can heal it. If we can diagnose truthfully what's going on in our life, then we can reassess our beliefs and our behavior and upgrade accordingly. Then we can heal the rift, whether it be in our, I was like, what is that? Oh, it's the hanger for my thing. Then we can heal whatever rift is going on, whether it be in our belief systems or our body or our relationships, right? So to put some skin on this, for those who are just joining, we just had Neptune go direct. Neptune was retrograde. I have Neptune in the 12th house, completely put my head on spin mode. Like, just absolute shit show for me. It was literally like being the fog of my life. Like, I didn't know who I was. And so instead of freaking out, I'm like, well, you know, let's not decide you've done your best work. Let's recreate yourself. Let's reinvent yourself. So in that same time of having these real, you know, I don't know, some could call it a midlife crisis, whatever, not quite that deep, but anyway, having some real fundamental shifts in how I see myself in the world. At the same time, I have this flare up in my pelvis. I have this flare up in my SI joint. Both sides of my back are massively irritated to the degree that if I sit for too long, it hurts me. If I walk for too long, it hurts. Sleeping is interesting right now. And just today, I find that magic spot where I can alleviate all tension on the entire area. And so with that, I can start healing myself. I'm going to have to lay off the weight training for a while. I'm going to have to ice and heat my back. I'm going to have to do some EMS, electromagnetic stimulant work on the earth so that I can balance my energy and charge some energy through those specific circuits and meridians that are affecting those parts of my back. I hadn't thought about something that just gave me an idea anyway. So I'm going to have to take some action. Now, I'm going to have to walk differently. I'm going to have to move differently. I mean, we're talking my whole pelvic alignment, you guys. So this is like if I sit here, you can see my legs and move my legs like this, it doesn't affect me. But if I stand up and I move my legs like this, it totally affects me. If I squat down like this, it affects me. If I keep them if I don't shift my pelvis with my femurs and my back, it's not a deal. Okay, well, that's like very few movements, right? Especially someone as mobile and as active as me. So I am having to change the way that I walk. I am having to ask the men in my home to carry everything for me, to help me with like absolutely everything. I'm having to ask other people around me to work on my body, to help me help myself, okay? And some of these situations are not necessarily my norm. So I'm having to step outside of my comfort zone. I'm having to redefine how I play with my surroundings in order to alleviate the stress and the pain from my back, okay? That's what it feels like in step one in the 3D. Well, this is also where I am having to back off some of the ways that I have been living in my life. I have been a coach and a teacher and a mentor, a personal trainer, nutritionist, healer for almost 28 years. No, almost 29 years. Yeah, that's right. I'm about to have a birthday. Almost 29 years. In that, the other day, I had a video taken off YouTube. It was taken off for me giving my opinions on the COVID stick. I'm not even going to say the words. I wasn't giving facts. I was just giving my opinion and how it applied to me in my life. And the video was taken off. I had another post taken off of TikTok for some stuff that I was talking about. Just giving some stuff about history. Just some facts about history. And it was removed. And it was like a picture of my head. You know what I mean? It like wasn't anything inappropriate. And they said I violated community standards. And then I've had lots of posts anyway taken down recently. The reason you haven't heard me say anything about that on here is so it is. It's not my platform. I don't own any of these platforms. I don't even leave space. I'm not going to create resistance with a machine that is going to churn regardless of my participation or not. I'm just going to get myself out the machine. and learn how I want to interact so that I don't get in the churn, right? And so I've noticed that when I'm trying to share in an informative way in some of these ways, it's just not going to fly. And so I'm trying to bring this full circle. I learned a long time ago. This is a trip, okay? Bear with me. I'm bringing it all around. Just hold on. I learned a long time ago that, in fact, I think this might be what I wrote about that got taken off of TikTok. Anyway, Jesus had an uncle. His name was Joseph. He was a tin trader. And he and Mary used to take Jesus often on his trips all around the world, and Jesus would get to study with the masters in all these different places. And he got to learn Buddhism from the OGs in China, and he learned to read the Vedas, which are which if you are a study of the Vedas, you become a Vedic. And hello, JJ, I'm happy to have you. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. And so it is said that he studied in India for years and was called Saint Isa. He learned the fundamentals and the most basic theologies and religions from the best practitioners and teachers. And then when he came back to the Essenes, which were the sect of Jews that educated Jesus, when he was in some of his younger years, he apparently complained that he didn't like the fact that the ways of God, which were what these things were called before, these ways of harmonizing with the laws of nature, these ways of living in accordance with one's own well-being, would be called the ways of that point. There weren't books that people were practicing out of. There weren't doctrines that were the way, right? It was the way of well-being. And so Jesus said he wasn't really happy about the fact that the ways of God were only given to those who were either born into the families and the teaching, or those that were able to afford the education. And so he walked outside, it is said, and he began teaching the parables, because any man could access nature. Any man could understand his planet if he studied, if he paid attention, if he tuned in. He could glean the information being given him and liken it to the lesson in the parable. And so he educated for free. I think at this point on earth, I heard it said the other day, what someone said, it's not the point where you're deciding whether or not to take the blue or the red pill. You've already taken your pill. Now you're along for the ride. I absolutely agree. I don't think it's the point to educate people on earth anymore. I don't think people are in a receptive place to be listening to make change. I think it's the time that we really get into our own well-being. We really, I said to someone the other day, it's like there's a great big broadcast, right? There's a great big loud radio, and everybody's got their, I think I said this last time I was on here. Everybody's got their own divine radio station, and you got to tune into that one station and hear your thing. And no human can give you your station. Another human might be able to help you hone your channel, like, right there, stop. You know, don't listen to it. No, don't run from the pain. Yeah, that's it. Process the lesson. Stuff like that. But no human can give it to you better than your direct channel with your creator. And so it's time to start honing that connection and that relationship so that we can hone our own health and happiness, and then find the ones around us who are like-minded and ready to do the same thing. This is the time when small communities will form and people will start taking better care of themselves and those in their communities. Because here's another thing I wanted to tell you. I don't know. Hello to you from New Jersey. I love you. I don't know. I'll put this stuff in my story. Although, because of present circumstances, I'm hesitant to put too much because, if you're paying attention, you know what time it is on Earth right now. You're not going to just have your eyes open from listening to this one broadcast from Heather Peterson Lockhart. I don't think so, right? And so I'll put some of these things up, but my desire is to stay here and share my experience and to share my lessons of learning and living better online, not offline, right? So I don't have a desire to come in here and throw things on the internet and raise my fist and cause a ruckus and tell you what you need to pay attention to that gets me booted offline, because I think that's stupid. And raising resistance is not going to help me. I'm learning to flow like water. That is my goal right now. With that, I wrote something down for you. So, Biden officially turned over full control of the internet to the FCC, and the UN is drafting an agreement, I don't know what to call it, a treaty, contract, or whatever, that they're calling, what did I write? Oh my gosh, I can't even read my handwriting. An internet of trust. That's right. They're going to regulate social media and the internet, calling it an internet of trust. So, things are cracking down in all kinds of ways, right? And it's time to be your best human being. For real. Like, really, be your best self. Like, really get in touch with who you are, what you're about, what you want, what makes you happy, what makes you tick, how you can be of service, and bring that shit forth. Like, for real. And find the people who are ready to do the same thing around you and get together with them and start creating solutions for your own self first, then your family, then your neighborhood, and then your community. It's that time, right? We're not going to have the same access to the same things online, the same truths, but it doesn't matter. Like, people think this stuff is so bad. You don't, it's not. As a culture, I'm sorry, as a species, but especially Americans, can't speak for others. We have become so lazy and indoctrinated. I caught myself the other day. My son was on whatever app, and I wanted him to search within the app for something in the app. And I said, just Google it on there. I'm sure it has a spot. And I was like, it's not Google it, it's search. Okay? But because I'm so familiar with going to Google for all the answers, I've actually coined it Google it, right? It's that time on Earth where we have become dependent on the diluted, the non-truth that's handed down purposefully, that we suck it up, and then we're like, I don't know what to do, I'm gonna go Google the answers. It wasn't the answer to begin with, right? Like, this is a redefinition of how we identify with who we are, how we identify with self, source, and surroundings. And it's beautiful because we're hooked up to the wrong information. We're seeking in the wrong place. We're getting fed from the wrong source. So I think this time is beautiful. I created my own app so I can say what I want and do what I want with people that are like-minded. The link is below. I have opened it up for free. I put all kinds of, it's a community, and I put all kinds of stuff in there, and you guys are invited to come and participate for free. I say that you're invited to come in and participate for free if you're going to bring your good attitude and you want to participate. Meaning, like, it's that time on Earth where we're figuring out how we can be of service, and in being of service, we help ourselves and we help the collective evolve. But if we're just going to, like, hang out and find the problems and everything that's going on around us, it's not going to get us very far. It's not going to get us very far at all. And even if it's true, if our energy right now is spent on finding the problems in those systems that have been created before us, it doesn't help us grow. The growth is in the creativity of today. the gift of the presence, all puns intended. When we learn how to close the door on what we no longer desire and only open the door to what we do, we change our flow of energy and our direction of attention and our energy and the outcome. Anything can knock on your door. You don't have to open your door and let it see your face. It's a really good energetic principle moving forward. Open the door to what you want more of, and only what you want more of. During this time moving forward, with all this smack coming at us, all this information, all this problemos you can get on board with, all this crap you can sign up for and assign yourself to, like, if you want that and you want to perpetuate it, then pay attention to it. Then open that door. But if you don't open the door. Let it knock. You don't have to open it. We got taught that we had to pay attention to everything, raise our alert, and write a petition, and stand in resistance, and to make it go away. It doesn't make it go away. It perpetuates the problem. So, let's pull some cards and see what's on tap for us during this change in energy. So we just had Neptune go direct. We have Jupiter getting ready to station direct really soon here. That's a game changer. This Neptune sure does feel good because we haven't had any gas in our tank for a minute. We have a whole lot of retrograde planets, and they're pretty much predominantly one part of the chart. Even though Mercury has moved into Capricorn, so Mercury's on the other side now. But everything is pretty heavy on the other side. And with Saturn and Neptune having been in Pisces, the fog is thick. The fog is thick and deep. So with Neptune posting direct, or stationing direct rather, we have a little more clarity, and Saturn's still holding it down heavy in Pisces. So we're not off the deep end. We still have some more aspects from Pluto. Is going to clean out Capricorn, you guys. The end of this year is going to be a whole lot. A whole lot. Pluto's going to wipe that out before it moves back into Aquarius permanently, or for stations for quite a few years. I'm a Capricorn. We've been completely cleaned out, completely evolutionized. I was going to say something else about that. In 2024, it is my understanding that most of our systems will pretty much come, well, 2024 is the Tower card, put quite simply. Everything will fall. 2025 will be the beginning of rebuilding, and I don't think we'll feel too much stability until 2026. But the thing to remember is that even the earth resets in chaos. In fact, incidentally, you will find it interesting that the Ring of Fire, it's a what's the word I'm looking for? It's a range, a mountain range. It's it's a series of over 500 volcanoes that are linked across the top of the earth around the continents. They just kicked off. They will erupt for the next 500 years. You know, the earth is changing. She is raising her vibration. So the things that are coming to light in this next year are because the earth will no longer host them. Isn't it beautiful? And so I think that helps. If you bear in mind, when you learn some stuff, if you learn some heinous shit going on right now, if you learn about some atrocity that happened, you can trust with absolute authority that all participants are participating for higher evolution, meaning the outcome, if it's exposure of a situation, is because the earth is no longer willing to cloak darkness and low vibrating, heinous behavior in darkness. I said, yeah. The light is coming, She asks for more light. There's more light shining. And so it's not that there's more yucky stuff happening on Earth today. It's that there's more light showing on Earth, so we are permitted to see what's been here. It's the same as turning on the lights in a dirty room. The dirt didn't just get there. You just really get to see the dirt that has accumulated with the brighter lights on in the room. Make sense? So, all right, let's see what we got going here. What do the cards tell us? And then I will pull a goddess card for each sign so that you can utilize this energy in the best way for yourself during this time. You can help yourself. I'm throwing cards. I don't know if you can see me. Whoops. Which should be everything. Okay, let me see what we have here. Hot damn, summer in the city. I think this is like my favorite card. Big cleanup crew required. Yes. And I think that the way the cleanup crew is required is by, and I think it's really, really important, as I hold her in my hand, I love that stuff, I love that stuff, is by modeling your best self. It is not your job to go clean up someone else. You clean up by becoming the higher vibration and modeling good behavior. It is not monkey listen, monkey learn. It is monkey see, monkey do. Monkey don't read the book and understand and then change behavior. Monkey don't listen to the lecture and change everything. Monkey watch mama, watch daddy, watch whoever's in front of them, and then monkey do the same. Monkey watch the music video, right? And so we clean up by becoming the new. We be the change. So what's on tap for us? That's the Empress card. And that's the Empress. She is the Empress. The energy presenting for us, possibly in opposition, is the Six of Wands. Look at that. Owning the power, deciding that we are successful. We're going to take the higher road. We're going to put in the work. We are going to follow the passions of our heart. What? The energy we should put in our heart and our hand and our hands is the Hierophant. The Hierophant in this makes me want to cry. The Hierophant in this deck is the Dalai Lama. And so he preserves enough old tradition to move forward in the most beneficial way, but he embodies enough old tradition, but he brings forth the energy into the new for the sake of the community, in service to the community. Like, it makes me think of, I watched this interview the other day with, this is so random. I was telling my son who Cyndi Lauper was. And I was singing Cyndi Lauper songs, and he's like, what does she look like? And I was like, oh my God. And so we watched this Cyndi Lauper thing, and then I learned about Cyndi Lauper opening like this center for people to learn how to get back on their feet. And she was in court, and she was petitioning. She was like, I don't know what she was doing in court, but anyway, her hair was like all one color. It was in this nice French twist. She had a beautiful suit on. It made me cry how she curtailed her very flamboyant expression of self to appear in court for a higher purpose. She embodied enough of the tradition required to be taken seriously, to not rock the boat too much during this time. It is key for those of you who call yourself light workers to remember that if you sit next to the old lady waiting for the bus, and you're on the bus, you know, that you're in the words, Heather. The bus bench. You're on the bench. The lady's waiting for the bus, and you sit next to her, and you are like, oh my God, do you know what's going on in the world? Let me tell you everything. And she gets up, shaking like a leaf, to get on the bus. You didn't spread me light, okay? Light worker. If the lady sits next to you, and you are like, hey ma'am, you sure do look pretty today. And she gets on that bus saying, well, I don't care what the news says. The youth of today is light and bright and courteous. And she gets on and she got pep in her step. You spread light. You spread joy. You made a bridge of connection. The masculine way is to think we have to inform. The feminine way is to model the behavior and to create the connection. Hello, Heather. I love you. Hello, Annette. I love you. We have to bring enough into the new to help and host the new vibration with the old tradition. And the outcome is the devil and the Princess of Swords. So the devil is the most authentic version of self. It's not something yucky. It's owning the death of the perceptions that are no longer the truth. It's owning the most primal aspect of your evolution. It's surrendering to the growth and allowing like the old to burn and the new to rise on a very primal level. And not hosting a mask about where you're at in your own growth. Like really seeing all of it, all of where you're at. The Princess of Swords, if you see this, there's a glare on that. Can we see her better here? Let's see here. Ta-da! Okay, there she is. Her hand is in the ether. She is bringing down the new ideas. She is of the swords. She is of the ideas. She is the ravens of Odin. It said she drank with Odin. She is a seer. She is bringing down, as vulture flies over my house, I just popped my eyes up. She is bringing down the new from her left hand, and she is speaking it to you as she grounds the truth into the ground. You see the sword is in the ground. She is bringing down from the ether manifest into the 3D. So it's not just, she's bringing down new beliefs and new ways of seeing things, and she is doing it with you, and she is bringing you into it so it can stick into the ground and ground as the new, not just ideas. Otherwise, it's just monkey listen, not monkey learn, right? You got to ground the new energy. And what kind of energy should we embody? The Eight of Swords. We got to let go of old beliefs. Let's ask for a clarifier. If you look at this, you see nothing's touching him. The swords aren't touching him. He feels like he is bound and all caught up, but this is of his own doing. This is the sword, so it's of his beliefs. His beliefs have bound his physicality, right? He's got to let go and let God. All right, let's ask for some clarity on that. And then we'll pull a goddess card for the collective, and then I'll pull a goddess card for each of you. Sign. Clarity on that is the 10 of Cups. It's what I was saying to you, to celebrate. So this is the most foreign concept on earth. And I think why some are just like, I think some in the last little bit is like, did she just completely lose her shit? Because she used to be like a light worker and she used to like teach us all this stuff. And now she's just like all about being pretty and nothing else. You're damn right I'm all about being pretty, because I finally realized that all I can do is model my best. And if you want some, you might come ask me. But I can't go knocking on your door and preaching to you. Not to mention, when I celebrate my own growth, when I celebrate my beauty, look at the abundance in this card. Look at the massive amount of crops and fertility up behind here. They have, a new baby. This is the 10 of Cups. Look at the safety of the family. Oh, Dad is adoring the mother and the children. She is just like so happy. Everybody, it's so beautiful, right? So provided for, so stable. By celebrating what we have, we encourage more of it. We have not been taught in this way. All of humanity is like, get a life insurance policy. Do you have insurance on it? You're going to buy that? Do you want the 2 or the 3 insurance? Your insurance policy that comes with it. Well, Amazon sells additional insurance. You should insure, because it's all going to go crazy bad. What if you chose to completely adopt a different idea? What if you chose to think that life is beautiful and life is gifted, and that the next beautiful thing is on its way to you, and that even when it's uncomfortable, it's for your highest good? Like this stuff that's going on with my back, I told my son today, I said, I'm getting a new walk. I'm going to walk more ladylike, a little more on my toes, a little shift in my balance. He giggled at me because I have to walk that way right now in order to alleviate the strain on these muscles. So instead of complaining that I have this back problem, I'm like, well, I remember when people used to say I walk like a man, straight up, right? And I've done a lot of work to make my presentation of self more feminine. So apparently Spirit has decided it's time for a new walk. Do you see what I'm saying? We can decide that life is beautiful and that no matter what it feels like, because see, this is the thinking. This is the thinking that it's all going to crap. And if you watch the news right now, is it all going to crap? And that's the thing. Here's the other thing to think about. This is a collective reading. Do you know that if we all stopped for 4 minutes and held good in our heart across the whole earth, everything would change? Literally before your eyes. I don't care how crazy that sounds. The energetic shift, unanimously concentrated and focused, would create a physical change measurable to the eye in real time. You see, the contrary is happening almost every second of every day. You might not be privy to it. If you watch the news, if you believe in climate freak out, like the earth is really losing her shit, yeah, like, anyway, I'm not going to go there right now. That's a whole nother spiel. If you believe in all these things being problems, if you believe that this is a potential problem and this is a potential war and this is a potential problem, then you are contributing to the collective bind of consciousness and low progressing or slowly progressing consciousness. If you decide that the earth is a safe place and we're all beautiful babies with our own work with Spirit, and that the best way we can get on board with it is by celebrating everything. People say, well, you don't know what's going on in my life right now. I don't care what's going on in your life right now. You don't know where I've been. Like, people see me now and meet me now. They're like, oh, yo. And they think it's always been like this for me. I've been detained with a 0.416 blood alcohol level, walking, talking coherently, giving nutrition advice to the sheriff deputy. And I used to wake up shitting my guts, shitting my pants, and puking my guts out at the same time, deciding which end to service first, having to metabolize enough alcohol just to drink water. Okay? That came with a whole shit show of its own. Like, that was my life. That's what I held within. And that's what I got more of. And I had a story at that time that the world was an unsafe place, that men had it out for me, and that most people were trying to undermine me in some way, shape, or form. And guess what? That's what I got more of. And then I decided to change my mind about everything, including who I am and how you treat me. Even though you wouldn't change it all. I decided that I was going to change who I am and how you treat me. And guess what? It changed, and now I don't get treated like that anymore. It is a synergistic, interactive, energetic flow. And you play with it. And so, if we go forth at this time on earth, audaciously, I once heard it said that if your goals for self are not daunting to you, they're insulting to God. Amen. Can I have an amen? Go forth with your highest self. There's nothing wrong with being the best version of you. You're on the 3D earth. You're supposed to want to play with the things. You're supposed to want to look good. You're supposed to want to feel good. It's not at anyone else's expense. You being your best version of self doesn't take away from anyone else. Me being the most beautiful thing on God's earth doesn't mean that you're not the most beautiful thing on God's earth also. Right? Beauty's in the beholder. Eye of the beholder. I'm just talking from my eyes. Be audacious in your celebration of life itself through your own being. Yes? We are able to create new systems, new belief systems first, new behavior systems second on earth by doing this. You know, one person reshapes their consciousness and then it starts to benefit their being and things around them. Others get on board. The evolution of consciousness is contagious, like an energetic contagion. People get lit, right? Then you have a neighborhood of people living better, more healthy, more harmoniously. Then you have a community. It grows. Yes? This is the way it goes. I can't remember if I shuffled this. I'm sure I did a zillion times, but let's pull one of these. I pull goddess cards for men and... Oops, I'm not supposed to be sitting like that. Cut myself. Did you see my legs? That skews my SI joint. See? So I can't sit like that. Okay. Reset. See, for those who are new to Team Heather, I tore my ACL and a couple other muscles in April of 2017. I had an MRI confirmed it. The surgeon said I would have to have surgery to heal it. I healed it. I was diagnosed with a bulging disc between L4 and L5 and told I was going to have to have surgery on my back and be on my back for 3 months. I went home and healed it. This will be no different, but this is probably my most auspicious one yet. I had been working with my back for a minute because I had compressed some vertebrae in my spine, so I was loosening the muscles in my back so I can get the height back, which I actually have. So stay tuned. This will be my biggest, boldest one yet. Woo! We got Lilith, Independence, number 29. 9 and 2 is 11. 1 and 1 is 2. 2 is duality and partnership. I'm going to go with partnership to self and source on this because they are the same thing. You partner with source through yourself, believe it or not. You got God within, not separate. And it's right side up. The Jewish goddess Lilith. By the way, each of you has Lilith in your natal chart. Might be beneficial to learn where the Lilith is in your chart so that you can see how this energy applies to you directly. The Jewish goddess Lilith refused to be dominated by the first man, and as a result was called a demon in the stories about her that followed. These inaccurate and damaging stories are so old and repeated so often that no one recognizes how pervasive their implications are. From another perspective, Lilith offers this lesson. No one can prevent you from fully blooming, from learning all you can, from evolving and choosing freedom. Only your conditioned thinking can do that. Be proud, be accountable, claim your power, and hold it wisely. Right now, you are in an excellent position to attract healthy, interdependent, collaborative relationships that truly serve the highest good. Friendships flourish with mutual respect and support. Love relationships bloom with ample space for both parties to grow. Business ventures thrive in service to the greater good. I love it. The goddess Lilith wants to show you the way to claim a healthy self-worth and self-respect by refusing to let your old stories keep you down. Amen. I love the synchronicity in this. You will be amazed at how deep, meaningful, and respectful your experience becomes in all areas of your life when you make choices from a place of empowered, crap, I got the card, independence. Empowered Independence. Boom. This is Lilith. Okay. How's that feel, y'all? How you feel about that? Does it feel like that time for you in your own life? How you like my hair? Give me some feedback. I'm going to pull a card for each sign, okay? I will pull a goddess card. I love this reading. That's exactly what I was saying to you. It's why I am officially retiring from the sort of coaching I have done in the past and changing my image and how I interact with myself and my surroundings so that I can flow with my femininity and stay present, if you know what I mean. Shorty ain't going nowhere. Boom. Cracking it. Yes, right? Right on time. Thank you, JJ. It's a beautiful... That's what I'm saying. Everybody is so like, oh, volcanoes are going off. I'm like, whoa, volcanoes are going off. All winds are shifting new terrain on Earth. Whoa. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Evolution. I was speaking to someone the other day about how, you know, there are places where when fires naturally occur, don't shift the pelvis, turn the body. Look at me learn. Through pain. The lessons are in real time. I mean, you just can't pay for this stuff, right? There are places that when forest fires go off, when forest fires happen, there are seeds that germinate, that pop and, you know, fall off, and the heat causes them to pop and to germinate and to plant, and for new plants to grow, and it wouldn't happen if it weren't for the heat and the concentration of the fires. I think that's incredible. All right, let's pull for Capricorn. By the way, I don't know why I did that. I have no idea why I said that. We're pulling for Aries. We're starting with Aries. That was so weird. I don't know. Anyway, I think what I was going to say, I don't know. We're about to hit Capricorn season. But for those of you who are... Disregard. Let's just break and go right back to Aries. There's a whole lot going on in there. The fact that I even slow it down enough to like make sense is good with me. Just tickled with myself. Many themes that have come up for you, yes. I don't doubt that because you're tuned in, JJ. And you're in it to win it and feeling the feels. Woo! I'll get it together. All right, pulling for Aries. Right side up, Aphrodite, romantic love. Number 2, we just went through number 2. Duality, connection. It says, la 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 la. If someone will throw up a timestamp for me, then we can timestamp these signs for those who are watching later. By the way, as we head into this, again, take a second, touch your heart, left hand on your heart, right hand on your left. Give love to each of the signs. Give love to all of our sisters and brothers all around the earth. We're all going through it. We're all trying to show up in the most compassionate, connective way. Aries, you firecracker, you. The Greek goddess of romantic love, Aphrodite, represents a state of ecstatic being that she now invites you to cultivate within. Ooh, I like that. You can experience the world as a sensual, expressive, creative being if you allow yourself the freedom to explore what this means to you. Perhaps this is a portent of a new partnering or a deepening of one you already have, or perhaps this is a time for you to claim this aspect of your nature, which may have lain dormant for a while. Excuse me. Aphrodite invites you to fall in love with your life now and choose to look for the essence and expression of love all around you. Find the beauty, be the beauty. By doing so, love will increase tenfold and you will see evidence of it everywhere you turn. This is your sacred task when Aphrodite chooses to aid and empower you. It's the same sentiments. Look for it. If you look for it, you'll find it. Go be love. Go be love, Aries. Okay, reading for Taurus. This is Taurus as your main sign or for your rising. A lot of people feel that their rising sign is the one that more defines them, but you can also apply any of these for your main sign, your rising sign, and for your moon. I like to do that. So for your moon sign, that's going to be what's going on with your emotions right now. So if you have an Aries moon, then really give yourself permission to love you and all that around you. Okay, that's how you apply it, all right? And what else was I going to say? If you're interested in a personal reading, you can drop your information below or send me a DM. I do have a special on readings all the way through the new year. And that way you can find out your rising sign, your moon sign, and your regular if you're not familiar. And you can find out about your nodes and all the stuff that's personal in your own chart. Okay, reading for Taurus. I'm not sure what my deal is. These are all over the map. I'm not usually this bad. Here's your card. Taurus, you have your Uranus in your sign, and you will for quite some time. So I like to think of, let me just make sure I didn't accidentally drop any of them. I like to think with Uranus, you're on the space shuttle for change. And you're not going to get off until it leaves your sign. So you might as well just strap on your seatbelt and decide that the new norm is change. That's life every day. But you're really getting a full blast. All right. Nope. We've got everything. All right. Ta-da. Okay. All right, Taurus. Wow, you have Danu, assurance, right side up. Number 10. So we have completion of a cycle for 10. And then we also have 1, which is the beginning of it all. The primal beginning. So let's see what Danu has to say for you, Taurus. The appearance of the Celtic earth goddess Danu, who gave birth to magic, portends the fulfillment of your desires and the fruition of your dreams. Whatever it is that you're inquiring about, Danu gives her assurance that you're in the process of becoming. Now is the time to trust that whatever you've planted, planned, and worked towards is being lovingly birthed. All you need to do is stay with the flow of events and be ready for your next opportunity. Stay with the flow of events, not post yourself up in resistance that it's not going your way. What? Yes! Okay. Everything has its perfect season. Just as fallow ground carries the promise of new life that appears again in the spring, as if magically hidden from the invisible to the visible, Danu offers her promise of grounded assurance. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, that was for Taurus. Anybody know what time it is? Da-da-da. I wonder if I can comment on my own thing. Can I? Taurus. Look at me go. Oops. Ta-da! That's awesome. Thank you. Convert these times to your time zone. I will. Thank you for that. I didn't see that. I guess my little thing was hidden there. Oh, you rock. Thank you, JJ. Okay, let's see what we have next. We are reading for Gemini. We have a new moon on Monday. New moon in Sag. Thank you. I love you. Thank you, JJ. Thank you for the time. New moon on Monday. New moon in Sagittarius. Because of the planetary alignments right now, don't expect to feel like you just got on the rocket ship of Sag. Normal Sag season is like, we're off into like new experiences, new beliefs, new lands, woo, right? Nope, not this time. We're going to be like, this is Sagittarius season. Well, do I believe this? Do I not believe this? It's just that there's a lot that's going slow and there's a lot that's redefining. And so, again, I just really encourage you to take the time to get quiet and decide how that applies to you. You know? I mean, let the fog be your friend, like I tried to do with Neptune when Neptune was retrograde. Gemini. Not throw the cards this time. Good girl. Right side up again. Demeter, nurturer, number 11. 1 and 1 is 2. That's crazy. That's a lot of 2s. Can someone give me the dictionary definition on portend? It's been in both of the things so far. I'd like to know if there's something we're missing. It sounds to me like, it feels like you gotta get in the, okay, this is intuitive, so bear with me. You gotta get in the capsule that brings you from the place. Like you can't, like you gotta put your ass where you want your mind to be. Does that make sense? Like you gotta move your ass. You know, you can't just think about things being this one way. You gotta do that first, but then you gotta move your ass. Like you gotta make sure that your behavior lines up with the belief you are creating or affirming. Make sense? Okay, giving to others is a wonderful feeling. When you have a healthy sense of yourself, you want to share your love, your inspiration, and your experience, and the exchange feels clean. Your boundaries are fluid, yet strong. The Greek goddess of grain, motherhood, and the harvest, Demeter, reminds you that the harvest is meant to be shared. You've now tapped into her nurturing love, which is abundant, and your well-meaning gestures will be received with gratitude and in some way returned to you tenfold. Now is the time to nourish yourself too, for giving must be balanced by receiving. Allow yourself to feel how the universe is like a wonderful, nurturing mother that is always there when you need her. Demeter says to trust that you are loved and cared for all day, every day, for all time, especially now. Sounds like you're in a good spot, Gemini. A good spot to love on yourself, a good spot to nurture yourself. And if you have that balance first, if you've put the oxygen mask on yourself, you can put it on your neighbor. Beautiful. A sign or warning that something, especially something momentous or calamitous, is likely to happen anyway. It also indicates to signify in advance is used in the context of predicting or foreshadowing future events. Interesting. Interesting. I like that. Thank you. Thank you. For me, that means you got to shift your energy. Like, it's one thing to say you're going to be in celebration of life. People always talk about an attitude of gratitude. They're like, well, I'm going to have an attitude of gratitude. Well, they pick up their phone and go bitch about something that happened, right? Like, it's a choice. It's a choice. It is a choice, like, it is a choice in how we move into our future. We have much influence, so much more influence than everyone understands. We have the power to shape things that might feel calamitous, foreboding in nature. Haha, all pun intended. They're not. It's just change. Much of the way things flow have to do with how we receive them and how we frame them. If I see a fire and I'm like, oh my God, it's on fire. But if I'm like, look at that, more nutrients. You know what I'm saying? Like, that might be a poor example right off the cuff without some context, but I used to tell this real quick. I used to tell about Farmer William and Farmer Marcia, right? And they have a farm and they have 5 fields, and field 5 is on fire. And one day Marcia says, William, come to the window. Oh no, my field 5's on fire. It's burning. What about them crops? We need to make that money. Oh no. William says, oh no, Marcia, field 5 is on fire. What we gonna do? And they cry. And field 5 burns. And they're like, right? Well, who knew that in 2 years later, massive drought comes. Fields 1 and 2 and 3, nothing. All of the neighbors and all of the community, barren fields, completely dry. But field 5, that was on fire, and a little bit of 4 and a little bit of 6, because they surrounded and neighboring up to field 5, filled with nutrients from that there fire. Yeah. No one saw that coming, right? Well, what if they had the foreshadowing of the future, and William was like, Marcia, fear not. because we are being provided for, and that is the nutrients that are to come in the next couple of years. All is well. Let's celebrate fire. People don't do that, but it is the way of things. And when we receive things with love and compassion and the, what's the word I'm looking for? Allowance of change. The allowance that God's got it. The allowance that our human understanding is so finite and so primitive and so lacking. Because we see like this, we're like, oh my God, it's on fire. But spirit's like this, evolution is like this, right? So if we can give ourselves and gift ourselves the allowance of understanding that everything changes as it should be, even if it feels uncomfortable and even if it seems totally foreign and weird, we actually help things smooth out better. Yes, I know, incredible. We're on Cancer, reading for Cancer. Cancer sign, Cancer ascendant, Cancer rising, Cancer moon. Oh my God. Hey, we're okay. You're okay. Ooh, you have Epona. Number 14, wise leadership. 1 and 4 make 5. So 5 is the catalyst for change. So Cancer, you are a horse warrior. Let's see what she has to say. Stepping into the world with a sense of surety and positive self-worth is what's called for. Epona, the Celtic Roman horse goddess of leadership and guidance, offers you her wisdom. Know that you have what it takes to take heed. You can do anything you place your attention on, and you'll find it easy to accomplish what's needed for your attentions to take form. Whether you are aware of this or not, the way you manage your accomplishments and even the way you handle your failures and losses is modeling the way for others. There is a wisdom growing within you. Being true to who you are and placing integrity and humility equal to enthusiasm makes you a wise leader indeed. One that Goddess Epona is so proud of. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So you hold your head high and be the example, Cancer. I like that. That's a healed Cancer. Cancers are the nurturers. All right, let's read for Leo. How are my Leos doing? It's a lot. This, all this energy is a lot for Leos, Sages. I'm a Sag rising. I'm a Capricorn. We need the fire. I feel you, Leo. I know you need some fire. Okay, 22, Iris, upside down. So communication, she's upside down. You have an alignment message. 2 and 2 is 4. 4 is about manifestation. It looks like a table to me. Are we building a solid foundation for you to move forward in a beneficial way? You're facing a moment when communication between you and others may have become disconnected, Leo. Perhaps people are withholding information from you or not being clear about their motives. Now's the time to ask for clarity and to get clear yourself. If you're sitting on the fence and are ambivalent about your direction, say that. Your alignment task is to say no to playing games, say no to coercion, manipulation, and covert intentions. Take a straightforward attitude. Don't be afraid to hear what might disappoint you. Be clear and demand the same from others. The messenger goddess Iris knows the importance of clear communication. Where's my card? And she urges you to speak up for yourself. If you've come from an environment, family, or cultural history where you've not had a voice, this might feel like you're yelling. I love that sentence. It makes me cry. But that's all right. Times are changing. Now is not the time to be shy. It's okay to feel awkward or flustered, but the goddess Iris brings her powers of clarity, I can't see now because I'm crying, and says it's your turn to be heard. So gather your courage. The people who are important to you in the long run will listen and witness you, and then you can engage in positive conversation that leads to heartfelt solutions. Oh, that's what time it is on earth. Even if your voice feels untrue and comes from a victim mentality, you must still speak what is inside you in order for you to heal or change it or to find a way to the real truth. Go through the process. Let yourself be heard, and the great goddess will send strong teachers and wonderful allies for you. It's how you free yourself of that type of thinking and set yourself free by allowing yourself to feel and move forward. Even if it doesn't feel like you're on the other side of it, or you're the victim. I love all that stuff. If you've come from a place where you've been conditioned to think that you shouldn't speak, now's the time to rise up. Don't worry if you're doing it right. Just set yourself free. Time to be truthful. For the Leo, that's a really big thing. You got to roll your truth. If you're not, your solar plexus is going to get sick. For a Leo especially, that will manifest as like irritable bowel syndrome, indigestion, Crohn's disease, if you're not speaking your truth and living in your gifts. We have Virgo. Thank you. Thank you, JJ. Ooh, card first. Drop second.
I have butterfingers today. It just is what it is.
It's really hard to pick up the cards off the floor with fingernails. It's so funny, like pasta, coin, something like that. I'm like, nope, just gonna leave it there. So ask for someone to help us. So ridiculous. All right, Gaia, Earth, upside down. 1 and 6 is 7. Spiritual shift and change, cluing into the spiral of change. This might be about also, Virgo, allowing change in your DNA. Getting more in touch with your body. Your body is conscious. Your body is separate. You are your soul. You animate your body. Learning more about how to interact with your own DNA, with your own body. When you scatter your energy and allow fear to take root, you become ungrounded and out of touch with your environment. You become disconnected from your true nature as a spiritual being having a human experience. The need now is to look at the cracks in the foundation of the life you've built. When one aspect of your life is out of alignment, it affects everything else. Ground yourself with Gaia, the Earth Mother. She wants you to enjoy creating the world you live in. Your alignment task is to take a fearless inventory of where and how and with whom you live your life. Is your energy draining from the choice? Is your energy draining from the choices you are making? Are you physically exhausted? Do you accept less than your value? Your efforts must be to repair the foundation of your life and begin again. You'll be so thrilled with the results and wonder why you didn't do it sooner. The goddess Gaia is supporting your every move. That's a big deal for you, Virgo, if you're ungrounded as in your earthly connection. For all signs, if you are not grounding, I suggest you take up the practice now. We are electromagnetic creatures, electromagnetic heart, electric brain, measured with an EKG and an EEG on an electromagnetic earth. If you are cut off from the earth's frequency, you are no doubt experiencing some inflammation. And that might be in your energy. I think they call that anxiety or depression. Other names too. OCD, ADD, ADHD, all kinds of silly caca like that. You can have inflammation in your systems, high blood pressure, Crohn's disease, you name it, right? You may want to, excuse me, I'm trying not to say that anymore. You may want to touch the earth with your bare feet every day. It's a good way to start the day. It's also a good way to stay acclimated to the earth. And you will receive energetic transmissions from the earth through the energy centers in the bottom of your feet that will help balance your physical body and your energetic body and calm your body. And it sounds like in that reading, you need to start at the ground up. You need to start from the foundation. So the thing is, most of us have been taught to try to go balance our minds, like just think about something different. I give the metaphor that is like asking people to, it's like giving people a presentation on supplements that haven't had water for 4 days. Okay, they need water and they can't even concentrate on what you're saying. So it's the same deal. If you're disconnected from the earth and if your vibration is really, really shook, especially at the root, then calming down your mind is going to be very difficult. You see, there's some space between that one and this one, right? And some systems in the middle that require cohesive flow and conductivity, you see? my little thing here. So, getting your feet on the ground every day helps to these are my chakras. Getting your feet on the ground every day helps to balance your energy and create more conductivity, and will absolutely be a game changer for your health. That's especially for Libra, but it's also for every human being in the human species. Yes. I'm sorry, I said it was for Virgo? Because I'm thinking Libra. That's for Virgo. We're on Libra. All right, Libra rising, Libra moon. Hecate, the in-between. Number 19. 9 and 1 is 10. So 10, we can be working on the completion of a cycle. Something that you've been working on, some part of your evolution is coming to an end. And in that, you are ready to grow. Thank you, JJ. And let's see here. Number 19. You're standing in the liminal spaces between what was and what will be, who you have been and who you are becoming. The Greek goddess of crossroads and the in-between Hecate welcomes you to her domain and reminds you that neither place is your home. You're being tasked to carefully choose the direction of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. Now is not the time for hasty action or stubbornness, but a fierce self-inventory. That's right here with this, and it's also this. And this. Will you really be? Seeing yourself for all of it. I lost my spot. Bless the past for what it has provided and release all the attachments to the story of what was. Now is the time to understand the responsibilities required of you as you move forward into a new version of yourself that is yet unformed. Still talking about that too. Who do you want to become? Ha! What kind of life are you prepared to live, and how will you wisely yield your power to co-create a new world beneficial for others, but not just for others, but blah, blah, blah. Let's start that sentence again. It was supposed to be all motivating. Freaking tripped on my words. What kind of life are you prepared to live, and how will you wisely yield your power to co-create a new world beneficial for others, not just yourself? There, I got it. You have the magic of Hecate pulsing through you and calling to you to answer. Say yes and step into the unknown to discover what is not yet manifest. As soon as you do, the goddess Hecate will bring her eternal torch to light your way. I love that. That's so about the reading today. If you're just tuning in and you're a Libra, or any of you, go back to the beginning later and watch the reading for the collective. That's right on there. We're all in the hallway. There's no way. Guess how I know that's true? Because you've never been who you are right in this very second, in this moment in time, because it never existed before. So the only authentic answer is, I don't know. What? I don't know. Huh? I don't know. Wait, what? I don't know. For real. Yeah. Okay, we're moving on to Scorpio. Ooh, Scorpio. All of the secrets. Oops, my card was upside down. We just finished Scorpio season. How you doing, Scorpio? In fact, we're ready, or we're finishing Scorpio season. We're kicking off Sag. Is it, I said Monday? Monday's the new moon? Okay. We are reading for Scorpio. I caught him. Artemis, focus, upside down, alignment message number 4. This is about the manifestation in your life due to your focus or lack of. I won't say lack of. We should never say we're not focused. We're always focused on something. The question is it something we want more of? Is it something that's beneficial for us? Humans are always focused. I find it really entertaining, actually, that anyone calls anyone attention deficit. Because even that little ADD mofo running around that you're saying doesn't have enough energy is focused on some shit. It's just apparently not the shit that you think they should focus on. Humans innately, inherently focus. We focus on what we want to focus on. Scorpio, are you ready? Sometimes you can be so focused on one thing, one way, one outcome, or one expectation that you run the risk of losing the opportunity to experience what you genuinely desire. You may be so fixated that you become blind to what is truly yours and what will be in your best and highest good. The goddess of the hunt offers this alignment message. Soften your focus and allow the fulfillment of your desire to come to you as it will. Whether you hit your mark now is not the point. Rest your eyes and release the tension of your body. By taking this break, you will avoid shooting yourself in the foot and instead recognize that you are so loved. Love, success, and opportunity, all that is truly yours, will not run past you. Call on the goddess Artemis to remind you of this truth. That brings me back to the outcome in our original reading. Focus. If you apply your focus to that which you want more of, it allows you. It's like this, like the razor sharp focus to me gives me I'm so focused on, I have to hit my target. I have to hit my target. That's what that means, right? That's why you've pulled back the bow, because you're going to hit the target, right? But hitting a target and celebrating what is are two different things. They're very, 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 very different energies. So if you're finding yourself too focused on your potential outcome, on your perceived target, Scorpio, maybe you lighten up by celebrating that which has already presented itself into the manifest form. That's really pretty, actually, for all of us. If you celebrate what is, you're going to get more of the good stuff, whether it's more of that same thing or more of other good stuff that feels good, because that's the vibration that you become a match to. When you get in this, like, oh, I love this, I'm so grateful for this, like, Abraham Hicks teaches a gratitude meditation, like, oh, I love that my sweater keeps me warm. I love that it moves around my body. I love that it fits me in all kinds of different ways. Like, I instantly become like, whoo, about this sweater, right? Just from a little bit of concerted, concentrated, applied focus. Focus, focus, focus. We're on Sagittarius. We're wrapping it up. We're into the end of the zodiac. Sagittarius. Sagittarius rising, Sagittarius moon. Metis, the goddess of wisdom. She's upside down. 35, 3 and 5 mean 8. We're working on manifestation and application of learning here. Okay. She says, I said upside down. The goddess Metis learned a painful lesson long ago and does not want you to go through the same experience. She chose to make herself small, dim her life force and inner light, and reduce her power to keep love. Who or what in your life is causing you to do the same? Do you dim yourself out of fear or reprisal, or because you have a sense that you are unworthy and unlovable, or perhaps too much or too smart? I'm exaggerating. The goddess Metis offers an important alignment task. You must face this fear, this anxiety, and say a resounding no. Even in the face of the greater story of cultural conditioning, be brave and courageous and ask how you can be part of the solution. Playing small is an excuse to not be accountable for your personal power. Oh! Boom! I'm going to read it again for the seats in the back. Playing small is an excuse to not be accountable for your personal power and to not be effective in the world. You have an abundance of life force energy in you, so come out of the shadows and let yourself shine. Take the risk and bring your wisdom to the world. We need you. That's so good for Sag. Sag, you are the wise one. You are the teacher. You are the holder and creator and teacher of spiritual beliefs. You're the guru. You're Jupiter, right? And I love this. This playing small is an excuse to not be accountable. You know, my son is 12 and he's all systems loaded. He has been since he came. He said to me a couple days ago, you know, Mom, it's not you. He said, it's nothing wrong with you. It's that when they're with you, you make them feel, and they feel themselves, and they don't like what they feel in themselves. I've shied away from that my whole life. I know that. I've known that since I was little. It's been that way since I was little. So I tried to put it away. Yes, it is perfect for Sagittarius. Go big or go home, right? My astrology teacher says Sag should be symbolized by one of those pirate hats with a feather in the hat, because you're just like, where's the adventure? You know what I mean? Like, if you're not saying wow every day as a Sagittarius, you're not doing it right. And so with that, I've decided to own who I am and how I work, regardless of how it affects others. They can choose to listen, to watch, or not. That's not my part. My part is to do my part. My part is not to be concerned with how I'm received, because what you think of me is none of my business. Right? I love that. I love that. Okay, we are reading for Capricorn. I was going to say something else about that. I don't know. Hecate, the in-between, again. So this is for Capricorn. By the way, crap, I lost it again. There, that's so weird. I've tried to say this twice. I'd love to hear your feedback if the cards apply for your sign, your rising sign, and your moon. Let me know. I don't know what I was going to say. So weird. I don't know. Capricorn. Hecate, the in-between. You're standing in the liminal spaces of what was and what will be, who you have been and who you are becoming. The Greek goddess of crossroads and the in-between, Hecate, welcomes you to her domain and reminds you that neither place is your home, Capricorn. You're being tasked to carefully choose the direction of your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs and actions. Now is not the time for hasty action or stubbornness, but a fierce self-inventory. Pluto is helping us with that. Bless the past for what it has provided, and release all attachments to the stories of what was. Now is the time to understand the responsibilities required of you as you move forward into a new version of yourself that is as yet unformed. Who do you want to become? What kind of life are you prepared to live? And how will you wisely yield your power to co-create a new world beneficial for others, not just yourself? You have the magic of Hecate pulsing through you and calling to you to answer. Say yes and step into the unknown to discover what is not yet manifest. And as you do, the goddess Hecate will bring you her eternal torch to light your way. Okay, I'm pretty sure that this was the same card for Cancer, which is the reciprocal sign for Capricorn, which I find very interesting because I don't believe in coincidence. Because I think, if I remember correctly, I thought it was pretty interesting that I felt like Cancer was being called to action. Capricorn, I expect to be called to action. We're entering Capricorn season. I'm a Capricorn. It'll be the time. This whole, who have you been? Bless the past. Who are you becoming? Pluto's been in our sign for 16 years. When Pluto was on its way into my sign, I got sober. Pluto brings absolute and total death and rebirth multiple times in your sign. Aquarius is about to head into it. And so for the Capricorn, not only does this reading hit home, but I can tell you, bless the past for what it's been, because you are becoming the teacher, Capricorn. You are the one that has lived through the experience of Pluto during this instrumental time with a shift in the magnetic grid of the planet. And you have been gifted wisdom and knowledge and experience because of your experience that now you can share with those around you, which is a beautiful thing. And as a Capricorn, your ruling planet is Saturn, and so you have hard lessons and you have a tough teacher so that you can be a steward of this knowledge. Capricorns are going to be instrumental in building new communities, new practices, and new structures on the earth. That's the Capricorn sign. That's why Pluto's been in here demoing everything Capricorn related. The financial systems, the government, it's all going to go belly up 2024. It's all going to be redefining by 2025. So Capricorns are going to be the front runners in taking the reins because they have the back, the goat back meant to carry the pack up the mountain, and the Capricorn won't stop. The Capricorn is on a mission to get to the top. And when the Capricorn does get to the mission at the top and does get to the top, the Capricorn becomes a unicorn. So, ante up. All right, we are reading for Aquarius. Thank you for staying with me, JJ, and for keeping time. I appreciate you immensely. Let's see here. 18, Gula, healing. Aquarius. 1 and 8 is 9. So for 9, you are understanding your power of manifestation. You have done the learning in your cycle. You haven't quite completed the cycle. That would be 10. So you get it now. You've put in the time. You've lived through the experience. You're about to have Pluto enter your sign. So you're about to go through a complete and total demo and evolution as a Capricorn who is saying farewell to Pluto. Don't ever come back, you punk ass bitch. I can't stand you no more. Just teasing. Pluto made me who I am. Shout, shout, holla, holla. But it's the faster you cut your losses and learn to nurture yourself, which I think is what this card is about. The faster you diminish resistance and learn to let go of what is weighting you down and how to help yourself heal, the more you will help yourself get through this, the quicker and the better. Okay, Aquarius. Gula, the Babylonian goddess of medicine and healing, has come to guide you as a lesson and blessing for your well-being. You're being invited to address the areas of your life that need healing. Perhaps you've moved so quickly through your life that you've forgotten about self-care. Perhaps the stories you've told yourself about who you are need healing. We don't always see that you are hurting yourselves. We don't always see that we are hurting ourselves or others. Take heart, for Gula comes into your world as an ally, saying that now is the most auspicious time to focus on healing in all aspects of your life. Amen, Aquarius. Only good things will come from your actions here. In fact, now is the perfect time when you can be assured that you can heal rifts with others as well. Be sincere and call upon Gula for this precious commitment. You may also be called to the path of the healer now. If so, the goddess Gula supports this wholeheartedly. You just need to be willing, respect others, and do no harm. Miracles will arise as if out of nowhere. Willing, respect others, and do no harm. That includes yourself. Do no harm to you. Be kind to you, Aquarius. Pluto is hard for all the right reasons. I say that as the most loving, tough-loving mother. But it's also like, I say that like if I know my child was getting ready to undergo one of the toughest, most excruciating lessons of their life. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. Reading final sign for Pisces. Pisces sign, Pisces rising, and Pisces moon. Did you know that the Pisces is the most evolved sign in the zodiac? Yeah, they've been here and done it before. Kuan Yin and compassion. 2 and 6 equals 8. JJ, if you're still here, I will pull a card for you. I would love to pull a card for you if you are still with me and do a reading for you. Kuan Yin is compassion. 2 and 6 equals 8. Again, we're talking about the ability to manifest our belief systems and our knowings as a Pisces. Which the Pisces is we need the Pisces for that. The Pisces is the one that's tuned in. It's the one that sits next to God. That's the high echelon of Pisces. The low echelon is denial and addiction. So, anywhere in between there. Pisces, 226. Compassion is what's needed right now to help you release perfectionism and defensiveness. The purpose of compassion is to help reduce suffering in the world. So be mindful not to judge yourself of others too harshly as you stumble through life's obstacle course. In fact, tuning into the energy of compassion and kindness almost instantly eradicates the stirred up energy of controlling thoughts and knee-jerk reactions. Knee-jerk behavior, sorry. The Chinese goddess of compassion, Kuan Yin, offers a gentle nudge to ask yourself this question: what would kindness do in this situation? If you approach everything with that in mind, you will discover solutions and new paths unfolding before you. In fact, living with compassion as your guide really changes everything, right down to the products you buy and the food you eat. Today, make kindness a priority. The world will be a better place, and you will feel amazing as you see the miracles light up where you can least expect them. This is all about this. And this whole reading is the celebration of life itself and looking for the opportunity to celebrate life in each and every circumstance. It makes me think of I have been taught, what would kindness do in this situation? Makes me think of what someone asked me for a while to do the work. What God do you see in it? What God do you see in that person? How do you see the God in the situation? And so it was my job to find the God in the situation, even if it was something that was angering me or ruffling my feathers. And that's like learning to, it's a practice. It's a practice to teach yourself to view things in a different way. No different than it would be if you went to the rock cleaner and the rock sifter and the rock sifter teacher said to you, well, we're looking for rocks with 3 soft edges and 2 sharp. And so you're going to have to look through all these rocks. But then they taught you some tricks. They're like, really, if you just jiggle them like this, then they tend to fall like this and you'll learn like this. But you don't know those things first off. You have to jiggle those rocks around a few times. And then you learn to see the edges of the rocks much more clearly and to recognize them. This is true of all things. I have twins. I notice twins everywhere. You notice what you're paying attention to, what you have, what you're a match to, right? So if you purposefully decide to consciously choose to place your focus and your attention on what you find beautiful and what you want more of, then look what you're doing to your reality. Look what you're doing to your very life. Look what you're doing to your relationship, your health, your work, your home, your community, right? Instead of choosing to see everyone in chaos and in a shit show, choose to see them in transformation. Choose to see it as transmutation. Choose to see it as the change that is needed to bring forth evolution. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Mr. J.J. Flanagan, this card is for you, my love. You guys got to check out his writings. JJ is a wonderful writer. JJ, I cannot send you a product as a thank you because you live across the ocean and I'm not going to swim that far. I guess I could mail. Our mail is going crazy. It's another subject. You have Persephone, 42. I'm really trying to focus. Can you tell? Inexperience. And she's upside down. So you have an alignment message. Also, I think I said this before I got started, but I read goddess cards for males and females. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have anything to do with your gender. At this point, I should say males, females, and every other gender. It's about the energy that I believe we are lacking as humans. So I think we need to cultivate the goddess energy within, which is connection and compassion for self and source and surroundings. So I read goddess cards for all of us. So, for JJ, the goddess Persephone was forced to pay a high price as restitution for what she thought were innocent actions. Today, she is a wiser goddess and is encouraging you to stop what you are doing and pay attention to the red flags. Don't take a bite of the forbidden fruit unless you are willing to pay the price. The alignment task offered to you by Persephone is simple. If you feel unsure in any way about what is being offered to you, step back and ask, do I have enough knowledge and strength to explore this without attachment to what lies ahead? If the answer is yes, jump in. If the answer is no, consider the wisdom of waiting. For this or something better now manifests for you in divine timing. Don't fall for the seduction. It won't be worth the price. I was thinking, as I was reading this for you, appropriate number. It's the title of my first book. No way. That's crazy. And not crazy. I mean, there it is. I had to pull my finger and follow along because what I was thinking about this too is for you specifically, because I do read your writing. I love your energy. I love your spirit. I love your heart. You know that. I would say also the challenge for you right now, because you are such an energy, because you are a light worker, because of the platform that you do write from and those that read you and connect to you, do I have enough knowledge and strength to explore this without attachment to what lies ahead? That part's for you. Okay? The part for them and your connection to all that is, do I have the ability to frame the experience with a positive light? This is also for you. What I mean by this is, I think it's beneficial to temper your interaction with words and practice until you can project a high vibrating outcome. That does not mean that your circumstances change or doesn't feel a certain way. I'm not saying you have to feel groovy overnight. What I'm saying is you choose to be the Hierophant. You choose to know what you know. I know you know a lot. You and me have gone back and forth on here. But we don't help the lady on the bench waiting for the bus by telling her all we know. We are not beneficial in that light right now. So how do we talk to her? How do we find the words and temper our interaction with the words and the practice until we can do the part to deposit the energy in a beneficial way? Does that make sense? I know you cannot be in charge of other people's receiving, but we don't... I hope I'm saying this right. We have a lot of power in how we present things. If I teach my children this is what comes to mind, and this is loosely applied. If I teach my children to protect their land because someone is coming to get their land, I am teaching them to stand their ground from a premise of lack and resistance and fear, because they're going to lose what they own and what they have, correct? If I teach my children to cultivate their soil and to mindfully walk out each and every day in celebration and gratitude of what they possess, and to invest in the growth of their crops and the expansion of their possessions through gratitude and healthy stewardship, where does that come from? Yes. It's not only not necessary, it's not what's what happened. It's a refresh, it's a recalibration, it's a revival, it's a rise. Let us help it happen by providing comfort, compassion, and connection by all those around us. That's the light work. Do you know what I mean? It's harder to do when it doesn't look like it's going to turn out right, and it hurts and it's uncomfortable. But I teach my child that, you see, and then my child embodies new energy. If I teach my child that from the beginning, my child will never hold the energy of having to protect his land, and that is an energetic gospel truth that most human beings cannot understand yet. But in time we will. Some of us are ready. So we hold that truth, we hold that vibration, and we spread the message through our beautiful behaving and interacting. Yes? I love you all so very much. Thank you for keeping time. Thank you for being here with me, JJ. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching, who watch now and who are watching in the future. Please comment below as to how this cards resonated with your ascendant and your rising and your moon sign. I would love to hear your feedback. If you're interested in a private reading, I do have sales on prosperity readings, health readings, natal readings, and I also have a sale on a one-question reading. If you would like for me to give you my intuitive understanding mixed with some astrology fitness, nutrition, whatever it is that comes together to answer your question and give you the most healing and happiness possible, we'll bring in there. You can send me a private message. I love you all in this country. I love you all around the world. I encourage all of us right now really to dig deep and find that mother bear love. That's what is needed. For all of you mamas out there, this makes me so emotional. You need to come with it, especially in this country. You need to come with it. You need to find the most connective, audacious love that you would give to your children. Learn how to bring that forward into your eyes, into your hands, and into your mouth, so that we can view all situations like that and show up with that presence, because that's what we need, especially in this country. That's what our people need to move forward in health and happiness. Thank you for being here. I love you all so very much. I love you. I love you. I love you.